Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mostly Low Budget Movie Reviews. I am your host, Clarence. Thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I have a movie that officially comes out today in theaters, and it's a movie I've been anticipating since the announcement. It's called Nope, the third film from Jordan Peele, who serves as not only director, but also writing and producing duties as well. If you don't know who he is, originally he was known for his comedic work with his partner Keegan-Michael Key. They did the Key and Peele show on Comedy Central, which was very successful. And they decided to end that show. And when it ended, he made his first movie. And to everyone's surprise, it was a horror movie. Turns out that's his favorite genre, actually. So, comedy guy doing horror? Okay, sure. We didn't know what to expect from it. First movie we get is Get Out. That's excellent and wildly successful. He followed that up with Us, which was also another very good movie and a success. Served as screenwriter on Candyman, which was a sequel and a reboot. Again, I thought it was a very good movie. So when he announced Nope, I was super hyped to see it. All of his previous works were filled with some sort of message and social commentary and layers that you kind of have to peel back and kind of pay attention to. So I was curious if he was going to take that approach again. But I will warn you now, this is probably going to be one of the shortest setups I've ever done because I don't want to spoil anything for you. So what is this one about? Well, these animal wranglers on a horse ranch trying to move on from a tragedy. Now, one night, OJ tries to get one of the horses back into the stables, and he looks up and he sees something strange. And that's about it. That's all I can really say about it. From there, OJ and his sister try to figure out what it is, what's up there, and how they should proceed once they figure out what it is. So what did the pros think? Well, they came in at an 81%. With the audience at a 78% on Rotten Scale, and it's a lot of scores, so actually they're pretty much in agreement there. And what did I think? Well, let's get to these positives. One of the things I enjoy about Peele's movies is the misdirection of, he gives you expectations and then, changes them. Now, based on the way the film was marketed, I assumed I was getting one thing. And you actually get that, but then there's this extra layer that changes the whole perspective of what you got. So some movies fail because they're not marketed properly, which I'll talk a little bit more on that later. There are a lot of nighttime shots, and I don't know if it was just me, but it was different. I don't know if it was the lighting or how they shot the scenes, but they were just so crisp. I mean, you could just see everything. Usually at night shots, even the way they're lit, I mean, they're you're straining your eyes, but whatever they did, I don't really understand how they did it, but it all looked great. I kind of wish I would have saw it on an IMAX screen, but maybe I'll go back and do that. But anyway, the performances, especially Keke Palmer, who plays OJ's sister, was excellent. She really shined in this role. She was really very good. The suspense he's able to build. I mean, I was in a packed theater, and you could feel how everyone was feeling that same. They were all tensed up and on the edge of their seats during certain scenes. I mean, that's what Peele's really good at, is pulling these emotions from you and getting everyone to spontaneously react in the same way. And this is a little side note. Like his other films, this is told through a black experience. Dealing with the subject matter. Now, I'm not going to get into any of that here. For me, that was a positive because I like authentic storytelling and these characters acted appropriately. So if you know, you know, but I'm not going to get into it. Now, about the story. And, again, Peele's an excellent storyteller, and he moves things along, gives you more information in the scene and how he frames it than you really need. It felt like everything meant something, and I know I missed a lot, and I probably need to go back and watch it again. But the story itself and where it goes is solid. But that's where my negatives start. Unlike his other movies, the dots don't all connect here. There was no grand moment like I got with the other movies, or a point that I was expecting to get at the end. That moment never came. He introduced some things that were interesting and then never really developed past the actual idea of just introducing it. This is listed as a horror, and it is, rightfully so. However, it's not really all that scary. There's plenty of suspense, but not a lot of scares to be had here. And the ending was a bit of a head scratcher. It ultimately, for me, it was a letdown. I thought I would get some answers or some resolution, and again, it just wasn't there. Oh, and if you're someone that was worried about social commentary or had an issue with that, or somebody that's looking for that, there really isn't that much of that here. And that's not a negative or a positive. I only mention it in case someone, like I said, have an issue with it or they were expecting it. I mentioned something about marketing. Now, I think some of the low scores might be the way that this is marketed. Because now that I've seen the movie and I'm thinking back about the commercials and everything that was shown, I think a lot of people went into this thinking one thing, didn't get it, and while, like me, I'm fine with that, some people aren't okay with that. They like to go and see what they think they're going to see. At this point, since this is his third movie, I mean, they should expect not to get what they want. But at the same time, the consumer is a consumer, so it is what it is. But I don't want to beat this one up too much. Let me bottom line this one for you. Did I enjoy it? And yes, I like this one a lot. I would put this one right at an 85% on the Rotten scale. While I wasn't a fan of the ending, and like I said, the story doesn't work on all the levels, it was, very original, and I value originality a lot. This was not just another flying saucer movie. That's not a spoiler. They show that in the previews. But he took a different angle with it, and it was refreshing, not knowing where this was going at all. When they did the reveal of what was going on, I was like, okay, so what are we going to do now? And I like that feeling with his movies. It didn't really stick the landing, but again, there's so much other things in here to enjoy. The performances, the way it was shot, some of the ideas are introduced. It was really a good project. Did it impact me the same way as Get Out or Us? No. This is probably the weakest of the three, but those were so high, it would be impossible for me to expect him to keep hitting that high mark. So yeah, I mean, this was very good. If you have any interest at all, watch it this weekend. Or somehow stay away from the internet or details or anything, because somebody's going to put it online and spoil it for you. And once those details start leaking, it's going to completely mess up some of the surprise and wonder, which is a big key factor here of what's going on. So it's a must watch in my opinion. And if you have, like I said, any interest at all, watch it this weekend. With that being said, I'm going to close it out right here. If this is your first time, don't make it your last. This has been a Podbean production, mostly low-budget movie reviews with Clarence. I am up on all streaming platforms. Definitely check me out. There's tons and tons of content up there now, so definitely scroll through, see what I thought about some movies. Or if you're trying to find a movie to watch, again, scroll through. You come across a title, see if I watched it and did a review on it. Definitely check me out. I will be back again this weekend. There's a movie that premieres on Netflix today that I think I need to check out. I have it in my queue, so I got a reminder recently, so I might go see that. I might watch that one. And then I got another review that I've already done. I just need to record it. So you will definitely get one, but you might get two more this weekend. But anyway, I'm being long-winded here. Let me stop. Thank you again for the support, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.